I should ask people to.
Oh, cool. So yeah, now it tells us that we're streaming live.
Oh, we are streaming live. Okay.
I can view or copy the link myself.
Copy streaming link. Okay, nice. So, okay, I can see me in YouTube.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, I'll make go here. Okay, and then we have the chatting here. Okay, I'm going to tweet that we are going.
Okay, so it looks like the YouTube stuff is slightly delayed, but not too bad.
Yeah, I think it's like a few seconds.
Enough that you don't want to have it open if you're actively trying to participate in the meeting.
Yes, no, I'm going to close it. So post that in the audience sign. We are now doing PR live.
Are you dropping it in Gitter?
On Twitter.
Twitter, cool.
Yep.
Are you going to share your screen?
Yes, I'm going to share.
Do you want to ping Utsav as well, or?
Yes. Okay, I'm going to share it in the webcam team. Okay. Live streaming, review. Okay, here we can intros and I are doing okay. I have it everywhere.
Okay.
So okay, let's look at the Chromium connector, or at least what I have so far. There, I'm going to share this screen. Okay, maybe I should. Is it sharing or not yet?
I still see your video feed. I don't see your screen yet.
So share screen one. Basic advanced, share.
Okay, looks like it started.
Okay, perfect. And I'm going to move this somewhere else. I move it, yeah, to the other screen. Okay, so let's start.
So Chromium connector.
Connector part. Well, actually, let's start with let's start with the connector. Resolution okay?
Yeah, it was fine.
Okay, let me move this.
Well, I don't know how that varies for people. If anyone does end up watching this on the stream, you'll probably want to err on the side of a little bit larger.
Yep, I don't know. I'm going to open it in the other, just in case there are people connecting. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we have the constructor here. This part is so we have the same. It's like constructor engine. We are implementing the iConnector interface. And then I think that what are the public methods that we have are usual ones like close, evaluate JavaScript, collect, which is to do the analysis, fetch content to download external resources that are not downloaded directly by the page, query selector, get the DOM HTML. Like these ones, I don't remember if we are using it. So maybe now that we are breaking, we can look into maybe removing them if they are not used. But I mean, for now they are implemented. So
okay. You started this with the Chrome connector as the foundation and then edited from there?
Kind of, yeah. It's like I've been at it at the end. I started with it, but I'm not using that many things. It's like mostly the underscore DOM and original document for the traversing all of those parts, because all the event and how the browser is open changed completely with Puppeteer in this case. But you will see that this part comes from the Chromium connector. These defaults are different. By default, Puppeteer is headless. I don't know if we want to change that. I've been doing tests like with headless false and true to see how, if I needed to change anything in my code. So that's why it's true right now, but I don't know if we have any opinion about making it headless or not. Do you have any opinion about that?
Yeah, I think it's, I guess, more for figuring out how we think this will be consumed. I don't know which case is going to be more common. Obviously, if someone's using this to run tests or to run Webhint in CI, I think headless is the better place to be.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was planning, one of the things that we have in the connector Chrome is that we detect if it's CI or not, and then decide if it's headless or not. So I'll probably do the same than what we are doing already in connector Chrome and add that package to detect it.
Okay. Just a heads up, your microphone's getting a little quiet for some reason. I'm not sure why, but.
Okay. I don't know if I don't know where I can change that. Yeah.
Is it part of your headset or?
Yeah, it's the headset, so
It might have just slid back a ways
okay.
or something.
Might have to buy something better. All right, so the important part is.
You're good now.
I'm okay.
You're good now.
Okay, yeah. So the important part is the collect. So here is validation that the target is valid, so it's HTTPS or HTTP. And then what we do is launch the browser, and we can do into the lifecycle. That's the part I've been busy the last few days. Start the scan, add the listeners that are going to listen to all the network requests, navigate to the page. Right now we have the wait until network idle 2. There are a few options. You can see like load, DOM content loaded, blah, blah. We should probably expose those as options to let the user decide what they prefer. But yeah, I think that by default, like network idle 2 or network idle, I think it should be fine. I need to do a few more tests with some of our biggest pages like TMC and such to see if.
So what are you thinking with those options? Are those something you want to bring in for V1, or do you want to open them as issues, merge this PR, and then separate?
No, I'm going to open it probably for V1 because I want to pass, like, allow the user to pass options directly to Puppeteer in V1.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll do it like later. Now I want first to get all the hints to pass with this. I'm having some troubles with Axe right now, injecting the Axe library, so I need to figure that out. So yeah, final let's ref in case we've navigated to different pages, remove listeners, get another snapshot of the HTML, get the favicon if we are running headless because headless doesn't allow the favicon.
It doesn't auto download it, you mean?
Yep.
Okay.
Pending request, this is the same as we were doing in the Chrome connector. It's like we might have requests that have already been, that have been done for downloading some JavaScript, CSS, and things like that, but because we want to attach it to the element in the DOM that did it, and the DOM might not be ready yet because we are doing like preparsing, or the browser is doing like preparsing and things like that. So we queue those requests. I'll go up later to show this code, but once the DOM is ready, it's like then we process all the pending requests and then emit all the events. And when those network events have been done, traverse, can evaluate script and scan in. So the process is, or at least the code for collect gets simplified a lot. At least the structure is like, okay, download the, attach the events, process all the network events, or navigate, get the content, process all the network events, even the ones that were queued up, then do the traversing, evaluate JavaScript, and finish. So it's more sequentially than before. In the other ones, like we had to attach to quite a few events from CDP.
Yeah, and so we do the traversal first, and then we'll emit the event for any of the hints that need to evaluate script afterward, which is how we've been needing to do this in a couple of the other connectors.
Yeah, the Chrome connector does that, and the reason is that we might have to inject some script tags, and we don't want to modify the HTML at that moment. I'm looking at with Axe, we might have to inject a script tag, and because that will alter the DOM from what it really is. That's why we do it at the end.
Yeah, have you seen how we did this in the browser extension connector?
No, I haven't looked at it yet.
Because yeah, when we did for the hint no vulnerable libraries, we needed to actually put a script tag in the page in order to get it to run in the page context instead of the isolated world. Mm-hmm. I mean, from here, for something like Axe, you ought to be able to run it in an isolated context. So you won't need to actually put a script tag in the page for that one. But for some of them, like the no vulnerable libraries, we will. We set that up so that we added the script tag.
Yeah, I think I have isolated in this case, an isolated context.
Yeah, but we intend for this to be able to run hint no vulnerable libraries, though, right?
Yes. So, I mean, I intend to
so it will need to be able to run something in the context of the page. It may not have to actually inject a script tag to do it, though. I'm not sure what Puppeteer exposes.
Yeah, so there are a few limitations, like the content needs to be serializable and something else. So I know that at least the evaluate test, I'm passing those already, but those are like simple tests. It's like, yeah, I have a promise, it times out, it just returns a value and things like that. So those are passing. But with Axe, there is a problem. It's like can't access undefined of something. I can say it's like error executing a script, evaluation fail, cannot read property document element of null. So I have to figure out. I was looking at the issues in Puppeteer, and they are suggesting to add a script tag. I still need to see if I have to modify some of the code of the hint to.
So can you show me where the injection is currently done?
Yes.
How the evaluate call works?
This. And page is a Puppeteer.
Okay, so that's just straight up Puppeteer call.
Yeah, so I need to look if I need to change the code in here in like how we generate the. Yeah,
I think there's some options we can pass to that too, to like select context to run in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so in this case it was document, I think, is the one. So yeah, I need to. Yeah, I was just debugging this before we started the call. So.
Okay. Yeah, my guess, given what we were getting support for CDP, is hopefully there's just two different forms we can use. Now with the old Chrome connector, I think we always ran in the context of the page, right? We didn't use isolated worlds.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be good for Axe and all the hints that don't actually need the global variable access to change that with this connector, so we do run them in an isolated world.
Yeah, I don't think that there is a way to get. I'm not sure that there is like this concept of isolated world
in Puppeteer.
Yeah, in Puppeteer or CDP. I think that.
Well, no, I know it is in CDP.
There is in CDP. Yeah.
Yes, I've used the CDP calls for it. I'm trying to remember them off the top of my head, but we can follow up later on that.
Okay. Sounds good.
I think just the note, I don't know if you want me to keep some notes for you, but I do think we should try to look into that and split it. So we're doing
yeah, I'll move this. I'll create a new file. So look into isolated for Puppeteer. And this was in the extension browser, right?
So extension browser is not using the CDP API.
Yeah, but it had look at how Axe is being injected in this place, and then look if there is this concept.
But yeah, it does do an isolated world versus a non-isolated world context. In that case, extension browser gets it because it's running in the content script. So by default, it's isolated, and it actually has to inject a script tag to get into the context of the page from there.
Okay.
So that's something David added a little while ago when we turned on hint no vulnerable libraries for the browser extension.
Okay, I look into that. So yeah, I think that the biggest chunk of code is going to be on the on response. Those are the network events. Instead of having to subscribe to 4 or 5 different like requests will be sent, blah 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 blah, we only have to subscribe to on request fail. So we have on request fail, and on response, which is a lot nicer than what CDP gave us.
Yeah.
And it also has its navigation request, which help us a lot to know if we are actually navigating somewhere else. So that's pretty cool. We check the status. If it's going to be a redirect, we are going to get yet another response, so we can ignore it.
Okay.
And the reason is that, so we ignore it because it's going to process later. If it's the target, then we do the navigation ended, which is going to look at creating the snapshot of the DOM as we receive it, send a few more, create a HTML document, basically, for the original document.
Okay.
And request fail, on response. See, if the DOM is not ready, we are queuing the network until it's ready, and we are going to process it later in the collect. And then we create a fetch and payload and send it later and have it down.
So that's effectively converting it to the structure of one of our fetch end events.
Yep. So
okay.
That's where here. So that's the part where I meant that.
I see. So when we get the later response, it's queued up the redirect train, so we don't have to track that separately as each response.
Exactly. Which is yet another part of code that we don't need to support that we had. I mean, we still have to support it for JS DOM, but it's nice that we don't have to add it in here. So it's pretty cool. I'm really enjoying working with Puppeteer. It's a really nice API.
Yeah, because I mean, effectively, this is what used to be not just the Chrome connector, but also the utility that we had, right?
Yeah, the request response object that had all the hops and all of that. So yeah, it's pretty cool that it's already handled here. So then we have get element from response, which is the same code that we had before. Content and row content is like content is the text part, row content is the buffer. If there is an error with this, it's like we are just going to respond with empty string and an empty buffer. Get row response, this is the same because we can't access the bytes that come over the wire. We are going to use, for now, requests with the same headers.
Okay, and this is what you're thinking of migrating to GOT or something in the future?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, when we migrate everything from request to GOT, I mean, this is the part that is going to be removed. This is the get row response is virtually the same one that we have in Chrome connector. Normalize headers, get response headers. So yeah, we create just the same structure that we had before, like fetch end with element, request, resource, response, and data. Let's go to get element from response.
Random side question, but do you know how much of this might work with the Puppeteer adapter for Firefox that's being worked on?
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm seeing my inbox some issues coming from Firefox, but I don't know how advanced it is. I mean, it doesn't look like we are using any weird feature, so I'm hopeful that it can actually be like pretty straightforward. So that was my debate this morning. Is like maybe we should rename this and not call it Chromium because Firefox is not Chromium.
Call it a Puppeteer connector?
Yes, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to hop off for now.
Yeah, for your meeting. Okay, yeah, we can
finish going through this later this afternoon.
Yeah, that sounds good. But yeah, it's like the rest is pretty straightforward. And then the other part is the life cycle, which is the most like cumbersome part with logs and trying to figure out if the browser is already running or not. And I actually had to modify Puppeteer for this. I open up APR and issue to see if they will accept my changes. So.
Okay, then yeah, we'll definitely want to. That'll be the most unfamiliar part to me as well. So that's.
Yeah, and this is where all the race conditions issues happen with Chrome connector and with this one and all of that. So yeah, this is where the meat is.
Okay, cool.
Okay, well, talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Bye.